Hi, this is Barry Schwartz. Today is Friday, March 20th. It's the first day of spring, so happy spring. We do have a post today on March 20th with different logos from different search engines. On the special day, on being the first day of spring, Google has a logo. So does AOL. They have an animated logo. Yahoo and Ask.com do not have some type of logo going on. Live.com does have a logo, a theme. We have a nice little theme as well. FriendFeed has a logo for the Iranians' first national holiday, and Dogpile has not a logo for spring, but they actually have a logo for March Madness. It's pretty cute. There is some discussion about how Google, New Zealand, and Australia slipped up, and they are showing the same logo for the first day of what they call fall, but supposedly in New Zealand and Australia they do not call it fall, they call it autumn. There is some discussion about that as well. So happy spring. Hope you guys had a good time. It snowed this morning for me on the first day of spring, so it was kind of a little bit surreal to see snow on the first day of spring. But outside of that, happy spring, and again, we'll get started right with the topics. Today is March 20th. My name is Barry Schwartz, and this is the news summary that we cover over at the Search Engine Roundtable over the past week at seroundtable.com. Since we're on the topic of logos, on Tuesday, March 17th, it was St. Patrick's Day. A lot of Americans like to celebrate the Irish holiday by obviously going to bars and drinking. So a lot of these search engines had themes. Google had what looked like little tree stumps coming out with green Google with Irish clovers, three clovers. Yahoo had an animated logo with a very cute little clover. It's pretty cute. You want to see it, definitely check it out. March 17th at seroundtable.com. AOL also had an animated logo you want to see. Live.com, really impressing, with this really nice picture of basically it looks like a field shaped out in a Irish clover. Ask.com had the whole rainbow thing with Irish clovers leading to the castle. Dogpile had a dog dressed up like a little Irish elf with a pot of gold with a rainbow. YouTube just changed their background color of the tube part from red to green, which is nice. Creative Site Forums had a beer thing with clovers as well, but green beer was nice. PPC Hero had a guy dressed up. We at Search Engine Roundtable also had the whole rainbow pot, Irish clovers, and beer. And what I thought was pretty cool was John over at Google Webmaster Trends, John Moo, changed his profile icon to a hue of green, which is pretty nice. And if you want to see the other logos, go to seroundtable.com. I have a whole entire history of the past logos from the different search engines from 2009, 2008, 2007, 2006, 2005, and 2004. So we have a lot of history on the logos from the search engines over the past 5-6 years, our St. Patrick's Day. Okay, let's get started with the actual search news. Google I didn't go to PubCon, but PubCon in Austin, I think, was this past week. Not this week, but the week prior. And Matt Cutts was on stage with Brett Tapke over at Webmaster World, and he was asked by Brett Tapke about the whole AJAX thing, the whole AJAX search results, where Google was serving up search results in AJAX form, which were then technically not able to send referred data over to Google Analytics or any other analytics package, so that obviously hurt people trying to track their rankings and people trying to track anything in terms of search referrals from Google. So the question was pretty funny, actually. He was asked, why did this happen, et cetera, et cetera. And basically he said the team who is responsible for making the search results page generate wanted to make things faster. And they didn't really think about the refer issue, they didn't think about the analytics issue. So then Brett basically asked him, why didn't you just fess up to that? Why didn't you just tell us that? And Matt's like, I think that's a good idea. He basically said, let me see what he said. He said that's nice feedback, and he would let them know. Basically, let the team know. But basically, why not tell us then that it was just a mistake and they're sorry? But since then, there's actually been some more reports about Google testing more AJAX types of search results. I'm not too sure about that, but if you want to read more about it, March 16th at seroundtable.com. Also on March 16th, Yahoo made a major update to their search marketing platform, and they added some nice features, some things that other search companies have, like Google and Microsoft already have, but also some things that they don't have. For example, they added ad scheduling, also known as day parting. So now they allow advertisers to say, I want my ads to show up between this and this time on this and this day. But what Yahoo has done that's unique, I believe, is allow them to say, to actually define what time of day is it me for the advertiser, 9 to 10 for me, the advertiser, or is it 9 to 10 for the searcher? So somebody in California versus somebody in New York, they're different time zones. Is that what the actual ad scheduling is based on? So I thought that was a neat feature. They also allow obviously bid adjustments based on that day parting or based on other things like demographics and different things like that and geographics. So you could either up your bid or lower. You could basically up your bid if you want to target people between certain times and pay more for that, or you could up your bid for targeting specific demographics or geographics and stuff like that. In addition, they also enhance their zip code level geo-targeting. They allow you to overlay different geo levels if you want to target and bid more for specific regions within a geo level or not. It's pretty cool. And they also upgraded the content match system a little bit. I felt bad for Yahoo because they spent a lot of time and effort improving their search system, search marketing system, but a lot of people really haven't commented on it. That has changed a bit. It just didn't catch on too quickly, so there's a lot of feedback on it. Hopefully this will give Yahoo give Yahoo more advertisers to experiment more with their search marketing platform. Hopefully it'll make for a better, relevant tool for advertisers to use and ultimately help Yahoo compete. The big news over the weekend was that Google AdWords has been testing, specifically in the UK and that region, in the European region, little what they call favorite icons next to the AdWords results by the URL. So if you saw URL ads on the display URL on the left-hand side, a small little favorite icon. So eBay would have the eBay favorite icon, Ask would have the Ask favorite icon. And Google confirmed this as a very limited test for certain advertisers in certain regions. It's obviously a test, but Google has been testing things like this already. They've tested this stuff back a few months ago with the actual organic results, the free results, where Matt or John, I think, said that Google's constantly testing things. So obviously on the AdWords side, it increases visibility and maybe increases CTR, which ultimately can increase one's placement and decrease their bids and costs for having higher rank. Also this week on AdWords, there was a lot of people started complaining about the keyword tool, how it was showing too broad of results. For example, I did some searches on, I believe it was iPod, and it was showing me results for things like free, things like deals, things like best price. This is basically expanding my search for iPod and saying you should also be bidding on the keyword free. You should also be bidding on the keyword best deals, when technically that's not really related to iPod. So Google has finally confirmed on March 19th that this is a bug. Later on in the day, on March 19th, some people noticed that it's actually been improved and it's actually being fixed, but AdWords advisor, the Google representative, confirmed this and said actually expect more changes over the course of next week or so, early to mid next week. So we'll see, we'll keep tracking things. If anything changes drastically, we will let you know, but it seems to be on its way to being resolved. We haven't talked about the Yahoo directory much, but in January 2002, that's when Yahoo actually started charging for people to list their sites in the Yahoo directory. There's an annual fee, I think, of $3.99 per year. People who have submitted their site before that, January 2002, were grandfathered in and didn't have to pay to have their listing appear forever. I mean, it would just be there. Like Rusty Brick was in there for a really long time, and it still remains there, and I don't pay a dime. But going forward, they wanted to actually charge webmasters to keep their sites in the Yahoo directory. Supposedly, if you don't pay your bill, supposedly sometimes they will leave your listing in there. It seems like some people are saying it's going completely free. Some people say you never have to renew, and Yahoo leaves it there. Honestly, I think they should probably just charge a one-time fee just to list your site, and going forward, I mean, they should definitely do manual spot checks on different sites, but they shouldn't really. I don't think they should be charging a yearly fee for that, because technically, if they want to make a better Yahoo directory, they have to have quality sites in there. And for them to, if you don't pay and you have a quality site, why should they remove your site? Because it's really good for the user to have it. So maybe they're picking and choosing which sites to keep in there based on them not paying, and they don't want to remove a site. But it really depends. So if you want to learn more about this, March 18th, there is a long Webmaster World thread on this. We have no confirmation from Yahoo on this at all. And now I have 3 link building tips for you guys. One was, here, let's start with March 19th. I have a post basically saying there are some people who are interested in offering discounts to customers who are willing to write a blog post or just link to them. Basically, the tip is, you link to us, we'll give you an X% discount. And what we have is a higher ranking thread asking people, is this something that is considered link buying? And if it is considered link buying, is it against Google's terms of service? Could you be penalized for offering such a discount in exchange for a link? Technically speaking, offering a discount is offering money, but the question is it beyond, is it considered a link buying? So I have a poll, and I'll probably share the results later on next week, but let me just tell you how it's doing right now. And definitely, if you have time, go to the March 19th poll and definitely vote on it. We have so far about 50 votes. Half are saying yes, it's considered link buying, and half are saying no, it's not considered link buying. So as you see, even the SEO community is kind of split on this topic. Google has not commented yet on it, but it would be pretty interesting to see. So that's one tip. I don't know if you want to deploy it yet, because it's kind of iffy. People have been doing it for a while. I haven't seen anybody penalized for it yet, but you never know. The next tip is on March 20th, we posted about, if you can't get that golden link, go after the link off the golden link. So for example, let's say you go to a .gov site and you find a great resource and you ask that .gov page to actually link to you. They never reply, or they say no, or whatever it is. Why don't you look at who that page is actually linking to, go to that page, and then ask those people to link to you. So it's really a secondary link. It's a secondary link. It's not the golden link, but it's secondary to that link, and you could actually get a lot of page juice from that secondary link. Wheel over at Webmaster World, the moderator there, went ahead and explained this, and if you want to learn more about it, definitely take a look at March 20th at SEOroundtable.com. The final link tip we gave this week was on March 16th, saying, why not do searches for links from professors or college students? So if you go ahead and do a search on keywords such as, let's say if you do video and you want to go ahead and say video instructor or video professor or video student or different things like that. Keep plugging in your keyword with professor, student, instructor, classes, stuff like anything like that, and maybe you'll find some pages out there that you can actually get quality links from and do well with that type of link building. Since we're on the topic of link building, I thought it was funny to share with you a story that we found on the Sydney Morning Herald, which is discussed at Webmaster World right now. It was basically a new Australian fine or law that they want to bring into state law or whatever it is. They want to fine people who link to sites that are on a ban list $11,000 per day for linking out to them. So if you link to a site that's on this supposedly secretive and hidden ban list that nobody knows about besides for this watch group, then they want you to be fined 11,000 days for linking to them. Obviously, they don't want people's computers to get infected and stuff like that. But the question is, how do you know what not to link to if you don't have access to that actually list of sites you shouldn't be linking to? So there's a lot of discussion over that and pros and cons and stuff like that. So if you want to look at it, we have a post on March 17th, which links to the Webmaster World thread. On SEO tips, we have 2 SEO tips for you. One is, when you have a page that's not found, always do not show a 200 status code. Basically, a lot of sites have special pages, custom 404 pages, which show, say, if this page has not been found. But you go to this page, or you use your sitemap or do a search, and you'll find the page you're looking for. Problem is, some developers, and even at Rusty Bricks, some developers have actually showed a 200 status code, meaning this page is actually found according to the server, and Google will get the status code and say, all right, this is not a 404 page, this page is actually found. This is a page that is found, even though it's really a page that's not found. The problem with that is all those pages are considered duplicate, and Google could hurt your site pretty badly in the search engines. So we have a long thread, I have a long post about this, and how I got upset with our programmers for doing this, and how we wrote a script to detect all these 404 pages and discover if any of them are serving up a status code other than 404 or 301. 301 is redirecting it to it. 404 is the proper status code for a not found page. And then we went ahead and fixed them. I think we found about 4 sites out of our 100 or so sites that had this problem. John Mua went ahead and from Google actually commented and say, also this is an issue with database errors that don't result in a 500 or 503 error status code. So you should definitely go through your sites and check this out. I would even recommend running a script every now and then to test this automatically for you. In addition, today on March 20th, we posted about H1 tags and how you should use them. Matt Cutts went ahead and did a video. I don't think I can embed it here, but basically, if I can, I will. But basically shows that how you should use H1 tags to pretty much use them as headers for every section. Don't overdo it, he said. And you can use them multiple times on the page, but just don't overdo it. There's some scam going around. I don't know if it's because they're a scam technically, but it seems like it's a scam. A lot of people are falling for what's called the Google Money System, Google Kit, or something like that. Basically paying people to link to you or paying people to do certain things that are being branded as Google selling it. So a lot of people over at the Google forums, web search, webmaster help, all these different official Google forums are posting, hey, Google, what is this service? Why are you emailing me about this? I feel I've been scammed by Google, and it's really not Google. So don't be scammed by this. Don't fall for this. This is not a Google service. It is something that I think is related to using Google, but don't fall for it. And it's not Google actually paying you for it. So be careful and read the fine print. We ran a poll and we have the results back. It's basically asking, should SEOs specialize in specific industries? So, you have doctors who specialize in, feet or brain or, pediatrics. There's different doctors who specialize in different areas, or lawyers who specialize in different areas. There's a lot of professionals and consultants who specialize in specific areas. So the question is, should SEOs specialize in different areas? Should SEOs specialize in real estate? Should SEOs specialize in, any type of site like retail or electronics, or should they specialize in, publisher sites? Should they do this? And we ran a poll and asking SEOs what they think about this, and most, it was actually 50-50, said, I asked, should SEOs specialize in industry sectors? 50% said no, while 47% said yes. Most of the other responses, the 3%, were basically iffy yeses, like, yeah, I think they should, but you don't have to, or stuff like that. So we definitely have a poll there. You want to check it out. It's pretty interesting. There's some comments on it, and it's obviously a controversial thing, as you can imagine, because a lot of SEOs cannot specialize in certain areas because there's only so much work they can get in a certain area. Plus, if you specialize in a certain area, then you have you're working on the same different sites that all compete with each other. So there's a lot of iffies things about that stuff. All right, finally, next week I will be going. I'm leaving actually Saturday night. I'm going to Israel. I'm going on an blogger delegation to Israel, and it's being sponsored completely by the different Israel organizations, including the Israeli Consulate in New York and the Ministry of Tourism. So it's pretty cool. The problem is SES New York is next week, and I won't be attending. It's the first SES New York I won't be attending since 2004. I went to 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, but I'll be missing 2009 SES New York. It's upsetting to me, but it's an opportunity that I can't miss. There will be live blog coverage, not at our site, but at Bruce Clay, I'm sure at Outspoken Media by Lisa Barone. So you definitely want to take a look if you're looking for the live blog coverage. I will be taking a look. Obviously, people on Twitter will be twittering it all the time, but I'll be posting different things. Obviously, I'll keep up the site, keep things going while I'm in Israel, but I won't be posting live blogging coverage of the conference because I won't be there. If you are going, there is an I Am Charity party you probably want to attend. You can go to iamcharity.com or iamcharityparty.com, and you definitely want to support them. Just send $50 or something, whatever you can, to the charity party. I think they're collecting money for a cancer organization. And I'm sorry I won't see you guys there, but I'll see you probably at the next conference, be it SES or whatever it might be. Thank you very much for listening to the Search Buzz video recap. My name again is Barry Schwartz. This is the news we covered over the past week at SERoundtable.com. Today's edition is the Friday, March 20th edition. Happy spring, and we'll see you. I'm not sure if I'll be doing this video next week, probably not, but if not, I'll be doing one the week after. So have a great week, and keep reading SERoundtable.com. Thanks.